What defines human life in our corner of the planet at the present time is not just a fear of death, but an overwhelming terror of annihilation. We are led, on the one hand, to deny the fact of death, and to run headlong into the watery pleasures of forgetfulness, intoxication, and the mindless accumulation of money and possessions. On the other hand, the terror of annihilation leads us blindly into a belief in the magical forms of salvation and promises of immortality offered by certain varieties of traditional religion and many New Age, and some rather Old Age, sophistries. What we seem to seek is either the transitory consolation of momentary oblivion or a miraculous redemption in the afterlife. It is in stark contrast to our drunken desire for evasion and escape that the ideal of the philosophical death has such sobering power. As Cicero writes, and this sentiment was axiomatic for most ancient philosophy and echoes down the ages, to philosophize is to learn how to die. The main task of philosophy, in this view, is to prepare us for death, to provide a kind of training for death. The cultivation of an attitude towards our finitude that faces down the terror of annihilation. He who has learned how to die has unlearned how to be a slave. The premeditation of death is nothing less than the forethinking of freedom. Trying to escape death, then, is to remain unfree. It's to run away from ourselves. It was a commonplace in antiquity that philosophy provides the wisdom necessary to confront death. That is, the philosopher looks death in the face and has the strength to say that it is nothing. The original exemplar for such a philosophical death is Socrates. In the Phaedo, he insists that the philosophers should be cheerful in the face of death, and that true philosophers make dying their profession, as in their mission and goal in life. In truth, our demise can be faced with self-control, serenity, and courage. In the spirit of Socrates' apology and defense, the Book of Dead Philosophers is about how philosophers have died and what we can learn from philosophy about the appropriate attitude to death and dying.